Welcome to part 6 of our Kyrgyzstan adventure. We are leaving the small settlement of Sary-Jaz. At first, the valley feels vast and open. Grasslands stretch across the floodplain, while distant snow-covered peaks stand guard along the horizon. The Sary-Jaz River flows beside us, born from glaciers hidden deep within the Tian Shan mountains. But the mountains are drawing closer. With every kilometre, the valley narrows. The road begins to cling to the side of the mountain, twisting and turning above the rushing river below. This is one of the wildest corners of Central Asia. The river is our constant companion. Its waters thunder through the valley, carrying the mountain story grain by grain towards distant deserts and plains. The landscape feels untamed. Entire mountainsides appear frozen in motion, balanced between stability and collapse. Around each bend, the scenery becomes more dramatic. The cliffs rise higher. The river cuts deeper. The road narrows to a ribbon of gravel suspended between rock and water. It is easy to understand why this region remained isolated for so much of human history. Their destination was rich mineral deposits buried beneath the surrounding peaks. Their legacy still waits ahead. During the Soviet era, thousands of miners and their families lived here. Apartment blocks were full. Children played in the courtyards. Smoke rose from factory chimneys. Then, almost overnight, it ended. The mines closed, the jobs vanished, the people left. Today, the wind is the loudest resident. Visitors arriving in Engilchek often describe the same feeling. Not fear, not exactly. More like the sensation that someone is watching. And sometimes, according to local stories, those buildings don't appear quite as abandoned as they should. Drivers travelling through the town at dusk have reported seeing lights in upper floor windows. The strange part? There is no electricity. Others claim they have noticed silhouettes standing behind broken glass, only for the figures to disappear when approached. Some visitors have heard footsteps echoing through stairwells. Slow, deliberate, the sound of someone climbing toward them. When they investigate, nobody is there. One traveller described hearing a door slam repeatedly somewhere inside a deserted apartment block. The sound echoed through the concrete halls for nearly 20 minutes. When he finally worked up the courage to investigate, he found every door hanging motionless. No wind, no movement, nothing. Of course, abandoned buildings make strange noises. There are rational explanations for almost everything. Almost. Because there are stories that are harder to explain. Some say the town remembers those who never left. One story tells of a woman who spent a night in an abandoned apartment while travelling through the region. Sometime after midnight, she woke to the sound of children laughing outside. Not unusual, except there were no children living in the town. The laughter continued for several minutes, then stopped instantly. Silence. The next morning she found no footprints outside, despite fresh snow covering the ground. True? Probably not. Because Engilchek exists in a strange space between memory and abandonment, a place where entire lives vanished, leaving behind only empty buildings and unanswered questions.